Okay, what is up, everybody? Welcome to, let's shift the camera, the video. Welcome to another episode of Board Games Are For Everybody. Today is hopefully going to be our first playthrough video, provided we can upload a video more than 15 minutes, but I believe we can. And what we're going to be doing over the next handful of videos, hopefully, is we are going to be making our way through Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Now, this is something that we have been playing very briefly since we got it, which wasn't too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago. And I have really been enjoying it, and it is a video that I figured I want to do a playthrough video for. Now, I do have some glare on the table, and I apologize for that. I'm going to do my best to mitigate as much glare as possible, but unfortunately our table is right underneath our light source. And I tried putting another light on, but we weren't able to get that to work. So we're just going to hop into this, guys. We're going to do our best here. We'll see how it goes. We'll try and make some alterations as we go through the next handful of videos. I do have all the stickers here. Because we are currently going through the games ourselves, I'm not going to be stickering the board. I'm saving that for while we play, so we're just going to put that to the side for the time being. We're just going to have to remember what scenario we're on and go from there. So I have played up to scenario 3 so far with my playing partner, and that's as far as we've gotten. So we are still learning some mechanics and stuff, but we should know enough to be able to get through scenario 1 and possibly scenario 2, and we'll see how that goes. But for the time being, I think we just need one of these guys for the first scenario. Because we are going to be playing solo, we actually have to take control of 2 separate characters ourselves. And because in our game, we are playing with, oh man, all our pieces got all jumbled here. I'm going to have to fix this. Just bear with me here, guys. This is something that's... Okay. Just don't want random stuff in the incorrect place. Apparently we didn't do too good of a job boxing all this stuff, or this wouldn't have happened. We got money in the hit point section. We got hit points in the money section. Just all sorts of stuff going on here. So because in our game we are currently playing as the... I can't remember exactly what they're called, but we're playing as the healer, and we're playing as the demolitionist. The grave warden and the demolitionist are what we're playing in our other playthrough. So we are going to be playing as the hatchet and whatever this person is, the scythe on a chain person. We're going to be playing as these guys. So we will go through and see where that leads us if we ever get this stuff organized. This is all money. I have no idea how this got so disorganized. Okay, money. Some health over here. These guys are just all over the place. For anyone who doesn't know, this entire thing comes with a full page just on how to organize your box, probably to prevent this from happening, but clearly we didn't prevent this from happening. I'm not sure how this ended up happening in the first place, seeing as we had the top plastic piece on there, but here we are. So, okay, it's more or less okay here. This isn't too bad. So we'll just keep this off to the side for the time being. Put that there. We have our health things. We got this stuff I don't think we need for the time being. We're going to need our characters. We're going to need our enemies. These don't come into effect quite yet, so we're going to need these. We don't need the city cards yet. We are going to need this. Don't need that yet. Don't need that yet. And we don't need this quite yet. I am going to have to make note of what's in this deck for when we do our playthrough, because there is a bunch of stuff in here from the playthrough that we are doing. So I will put those back. Next time I'm going to have to start actually taking notes, so that's... Okay, I think that's everything that we need for the time being. This stuff can go back in here. So let's open up to our first scenario here, and we'll get to it. Hopefully the camera is picking pretty well everything up here. It's in wide, so I have pretty much the entire table covered. I'm hoping that that's the case. I hope that you guys can see everything. I hope that it's not too poorly spread out. Okay, so let's start with our introduction of scenario 1. Is there a front page here? Is there a... Oh, yeah, scenario book. Okay, so we do have our first scenario. We should actually read through the story of the game. That's probably a good idea, eh? Alrighty, scenario book. It will be good to get back to the Sleeping Lion. After a fortnight going up and down the still river, chasing a bad lead on a missing blacksmith, you can almost feel the warmth of the inn's hearth when Gloomhaven's walls come into view. You are almost home. To be fair, it's not just the blacksmith. An alarming number of people within the poorer districts of the city have gone missing. Usually nothing comes of it, though. Just another poor soul forgotten out there on the edge of civilization. The blacksmith's wife, Sandy, however, managed to somehow scrape up enough money together to hire you and find her husband. You're not sure where the money came from, but no matter the source, it couldn't have come easy, which makes it doubly painful to return to the city empty-handed. True, Sandy was a little light on the payments, but you are the Jaws of the Lion, one of the most well-known mercenary groups in the backwater dump of a town. Surely it can't hurt to take a charity case every once in a while. Getting good jobs is about maintaining a reputation after all, which is why you really need to get to the bottom of this and not return to the widow with nothing but the calluses on your feet. Also, you probably shouldn't call her a widow to her face, at least not until the fate of the blacksmith has been confirmed. Given, however, that none of those who disappeared have returned, the outlook is grim. As these cheery thoughts pass through your mind, you notice movement up ahead and immediately draw your weapon. The sun has dipped low in the sky, reducing visibility, but you can clearly see some ramshackle wooden barricades blocking the road in front of you. And sure enough, as you cautiously approach the scene, vermlings jump out from behind the obstructions, flashing crude swords and sharp sticks. You have to admit, you are quite tired. You have to admit, you are quite tired from the day's journey, but still, these oversized rats certainly picked the wrong group of travelers to ambush today. You are the Jaws of the Lion after all, and are always ready to show there is only one outcome for anyone who dares threaten you. Rewards, new location, Roadside Ambush. Alrighty guys, so we have scenario 1 here, Roadside Ambush. Let's go through the introduction. The road back to Gloomhaven. The road back to Gloomhaven has been long, and now to get attacked by vermlings when all you want is a warm meal and a soft bed. Well, it makes you mad. Oh, there was a comma there. Well, it makes you mad. Mad enough to kill these mangy creatures before you collapse from exhaustion. Of course, the vermlings have other plans. They They gibber about wanting your coin and the meat on your bones. Nasty things, really. Best to ignore their ranting and end this quickly. Special rules. Make sure each character's starting hand consists of their 6 ability cards marked with A. The Vermling Raiders will act on initiative 50 each round. They will first move their base move value of 1, and then if a character is adjacent to them, they will attack their base attack value of 2. So, we have a bunch of Vermlings. We're going to set up our map here. First things first, we are going to get our Vermling Raider card out of the thing here. Now, they always start on level 1. If you want to make the game a little easier, you can put it down to 0, but these guys are going to be level 1. If I can get the card in here. So, Vermling Raiders, level 1. Those are our opponents for this scenario, and we're going to set them up. So because we have 2 players, technically you have to play as 2 players. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 Vermlings set up, one of which is going to be an elite Vermling. Now typically elites just have more HP. Once we get into later scenarios, we're going to start adding actual attacks for the different enemies. However, in this scenario, it's just their base attack of 2, as the card up here indicates. So we just got to get our Vermlings out of here if we can find them. They kind of all got mixed in. And we need to find our little Vermling Raider ticker tape here. Vermling Scout. Rat Monster, Vermling Raider, all the way down to the bottom here. Can I shove it out of this hole here? It would make it easier to get. Let's just get through the top here. Let's get this out. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we got our Vermling Raider. We'll put that up there. And we need to find our 4 Vermling Raiders and get them out here. If we can find any. Man, I think the little instructional did actually tell us that we should separate all of these into different bags depending on creatures, because it would make getting the creature you need a lot easier. There's 1, 2, there's 3, and there's 4. Okay, 4 Vermling Raiders are going to be set up as our enemies for this scenario. Now, there are some rules in this game that I have not probably been playing correctly. There is some stuff that's kind of left up to interpretation, mostly that being line of sight. I always consider line of sight as hexes, but I think line of sight is more so if they can just see you from a straight away kind of a thing. So like the way we have been playing at the moment is, say this Vermling right here is the enemy that we're after, and let's say this Vermling is us, and we were right here. This is line of sight because he can see those hexes. But I think the way the game actually wants it is like, even like if you're here or here or here, well, that would be a bad example, or here, that's still line of sight because they can still technically see you. There's no obstructions or anything blocking your path. I believe that's the way the game works. So I think that's how we are going to play it in this scenario, that no matter what the hex is, they're still going to move 1 space, because I think that's how it's actually supposed to be done, but I could be wrong. Okay, so I have not used these characters. In fact, I don't even think these characters have been opened. So there's our cards there. So we need all of our A cards in order to... Oh, the red guard. That's what this one's called, eh? Okay, so we got our red guard. Just going to move this up here a little bit, give us a little more space. Got our red guard. There's our health there for that. Move this stuff up here. Just going to try and get some of this stuff out of the way here. Maybe get this guy up here. We'll keep one guy down here. We'll keep one guy on the side. It'll make it a little easier for us. So that's the red card character sheet. That we don't need yet. That we don't need yet. However, this we need. Because we need all of our A cards. These are B cards. XX, 2, 3, 4... A. There we go. Okay, so we got our A cards. That's all of them. Oh no, that's also an A card, just out of order. 1, 1, 1, 1. XX, X, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1, 1. Okay, that's all of our A's. So we are going to we'll just throw these guys over here for now. Get our... No, these are our extra... Oh, here they are. I was going to say, those are our extra modifiers. So these are our modifiers here. If I can get them out. There we go. So, just shuffle up our modifier cards. We will put our modifiers right here. Now we are level 1, so we start with 10 HP and 0 experience, because experience is not a thing yet. So 10 HP. Got our cards here. Let's get our guy out. Now I haven't painted these yet, but it is something that I would like to do. Is that got something else in there? Oh yeah, here we go. Need that. So we got our red cards set up, and let's get our hatchet set up. These guys we don't need yet. I don't want to lose them, so we're just gonna toss them over here. Let's get our hatchet out. Same thing, our little marker is pretty stuck in here. There we go, okay. Throw that over there. Got our hatchets. These guys can stay wherever I end up putting the hatchet stuff. Just throw the hatchet stuff over here. These are the modifiers for our enemy, so we're actually going to throw these guys up here. Okay, so that's our red guard there. Oh, dropping things on the floor. Anything else in there? No, everything's out. Oh, just gotta grab that deck of cards. That isn't even being used yet, but don't want to lose it. Okay, and we got our hatchet. Everything's still in frame. Everything is mostly in frame. It's not too bad. Everything is mostly in frame. And let's get our modifiers for the hatchet out here. Okay, hatchet modifiers. Got everybody up. We need to grab the hatchet cards. XX A These ones are also kind of out of order. A. They have a lot more cards than the red guard has, I think. Look like more cards anyway. Okay, these can go back in here. So, got the hatchet there, got our cards. This is our hatchet index. That's all good. This is all good. These are our pieces to determine what order people are going in. And I think we're set up. The hatchet has 8 HP. I think we are set up to start playing. I don't think there's any traps or anything. We missed an obstacle. I know the game says you should put things down once you destroy an obstacle, but I like doing it the opposite way. I like having stuff up so that it kind of visualizes that there's an obstacle there. But yeah, we are more or less set up here. So let's get to the scenario. Let's actually just get into it. So we've gone through our introduction. First thing we got to do is we're going to have to pick our cards. Now, I have not played as either of these characters, so I'm actually not 100% sure what these cards actually do. So we do have an attack of 2, range 2, plus immobilize. I should have a reference here somewhere that I should probably use. Is my reference in here? My reference is probably in with my other cards there. I just want to keep a reference sheet on me for all the different... Nope, not that one. Back, nope, not that one. Just until I really learn what all of the abilities actually do. Obviously, immobilize, I believe, is they can't attack, which would actually be great. That would be a pretty good one, but I'm not within 2 at the moment. Now, I have gone ahead, and I could kind of start introducing some of the later rules in the earlier scenarios, but I'm going to try not to do that too much. I don't have a reference in here either. Where's the reference? I know our other ones came with a reference. I wonder where those are. Maybe they're in a different bag. I might just have to steal one of the ones from our other pouch here. This is like the longest introduction to something ever, eh? Okay, there's our reference. Put that back after. Okay, so what were we doing? We were checking immobilize, which is cannot move, remove at the end of the next turn. So immobilize wouldn't be too bad, but we would have to move in order to do an attack. Attack all adjacent enemies. Not bad. Attack 3 and immobilize. Not bad. But we also still need to move. So what we could do is we could do our move 4. And we could do our attack 3, which might be our best option here. We would also put immobilize on, which wouldn't be too bad. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, the way the game works is that these numbers here are what are going to determine your initiative order. The lower your number, the quicker you're going to go in the turn. So you want to kind of strategize if you want to go quick or you don't want to go quick. Personally, my playstyle preference, I typically go as soon as I can. Not always the best option, but we are going to be doing that with the red guard here. So those two are going to go down. Let's see what we got from the hatchet here. Heal 3 to self, attack 3 in range of 3. So he could hit this guy for range of 3. That wouldn't be bad. Attack range of 3, one enemy with, oh, that's the same one we're reading. Attack 1 within range of 3, attack 2 within range of 3, attack 3 within range of 3, attack 3 adjacent. Okay, so I think what we're doing here is we don't have to move at all, which is pretty good. So we only have heal self. We don't have heal ally. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need both these guys to start moving forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to use, I think we're going to use this move 2. We're also going to use this attack 3. We're using the 25 first. So 25 goes down. 14. Now, the instructions mentioned that Vermlings always play initiative 50. So the way this would work is that we would be going Redguard, Hatchet, and then Vermlings. So let's get to it. Redguards first. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to use our move 4, and we're going to come up to right here, and then we're going to attack with our 3 plus modifier plus immobilize. So we just need to put an immobilize on 2. What is this guy? Number 1. He's immobilized. So we're attacking for 3, and we are adjacent, so we don't take a thing. Plus 1, so he takes 4 damage. And these guys have 5 damage each. So 1 more damage, and he'll be dead. And he can't move this turn, so we're pretty safe for the time being. So the Redguard's turn is done. Those are discarded. We now go to the Hatchet, who is second. So we are going to do our move 2. Moving 2. All adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage. Move up to 2 hexes away. All adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage. I didn't even read that part of it. So we move 2 spaces, and then this guy takes 1 damage because of this. I guess he just takes 1 damage. I don't think that gets a modifier at all. And then our attack's just going to go out the window, I guess. So I'm wondering if we stay back here, if it would be better to actually do our range of 3 for attack 1, because unless we get a don't attack or a -2, I don't think we shuffled this. I'm just shuffling it here quick. Unless we get a don't attack or a -2 from this, we'll still be able to move this 4. So I think that's actually what we're going to do, is we're going to do our attack of 1 at range of 3. Up to 3 enemies within 3 hexes suffer 1 damage plus a separate modifier for each. Wow, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm definitely going to want to hold on to that card. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. So 1, 2, 3 plus our modifier of +1. So he actually takes 2 damage. So he is dead, seeing as they only have 5 damage. And we have killed 1 enemy. And we also have this. We can move. So I think we're just going to move forward a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get our guys moving forward so we can start attacking. And this goes into the discard. So it is now the Vermling's turn. Both of our guys have gone. So we're playing line of sights. Now there's an obstacle in the way of this. So he would have to move in whatever direction to go, but he's number 3, so he's not actually going first. Number 2 is going first. I believe in the rules it said that elites always move first regardless. So because they were within line of sight with us, he would move 1 space towards us. This guy, line of sight of us, even though there's an obstruction, he would move 1 space towards us. Same with this guy, 1 space towards us. Now, because none of them are adjacent, they cannot attack us, and the turn is then refreshed back to the beginning. So we now have to look at our cards once again and decide what we want to do next. Can we get... So the elite has 10 HP. So we have to be careful of that while we're going through. We could move up and try to muddle him. 1, 2, 3. I would need a movement of 3, which I don't have. I could move off this. 1 enemy within 2 hexes suffers 3 plus modifier. Target all adjacent enemies. All adjacent enemies suffer 2 damage plus a separate modifier for each. No attack modifier card is drawn for this. 2 adjacent enemies suffer 2 damage each. That's actually not that bad. It's a guaranteed 2 damage to all adjacent enemies, And you don't have to possibly worry about it doing no damage, so that's not terrible. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this +2 to all enemies, and we're going to do this move 4, because then we can get... Oh, we wouldn't get up far enough, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. They wouldn't... Oh, well, we could do this backwards, do the 90 and go second. Because that would put us last in the order, depending on what the hatchet does. And these guys would have already moved towards us, and we can get these two for the 2 damage. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to try and strategically go later in the turn order. So let's see what we got here. 1 enemy within 3 hexes suffers 3 damage plus modifier. Add +1 attack to all your attacks this turn. That's not terrible. 1 enemy within 3 hexes suffers 3 damage plus modifier, disadvantage if adjacent. So I could attack him for 3. And we could also add 1 to all attacks this turn. So we would be doing 3 damage plus whatever our modifier is. And he won't be able to get to us because they can only move 1 per thing. So I think that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go 35. Our red guard is 90. So that's going to put our order as Hatchet, Vermling Raider, Red Guard. So our Hatchet goes first. So we are first going to use our add 1 to attack. And then we are going to use our 1 enemy within 3 hexes. Takes 3 damage +1 plus our modifier. So let's see what our modifier is. +2 modifier. So this guy takes 6 damage. And he is number 2. So he is getting pretty close to dead. He just needs 4 more damage and he'll be taken out. So the hatchet's done. It is now the Vermling Raiders' turn. So they are pretty much all moving 1 towards us. And then it is the Red Guard's turn. So we're going to do our move of 4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Place ourselves in between both of these guys. And then we're going to do our attack of 2 to all adjacent enemies plus modifiers. So we're going to go on the Elite first, +0. So he is taking 2 damage, which puts him up to 8 damage, so 2 more, and he will be done, but he is about to get attacked. We're going to go with our second one here, modifier of nothing, so no damage to Vermling Raider number 3. That ends our turn, and we are now on to our final phase before we have to do a short rest here. So we are back to... We only have 2 cards each left. Now, I definitely want to try and go before these guys because I want to be able to move, or at least be able to mitigate as much damage as I can. So I am going to be doing the 41 first. See what we have from the hatchet here. 24 and 18. We have to play both. We may as well do the 18. It doesn't matter. 41's his lowest. So the new order is Hatchet, Red Guard, Vermling Raider. So our Hatchet's going first. We are move 5. We are going to be doing 1 enemy within 3 hexes suffers 3 damage plus modifier. So we're 1, 2, 3. We're going to be going after number 3 here, 3 away. Our modifier is -1, so it's going to be taking 2 damage from our hatchet. That is number 3. And then we are going to use our move 5, and that's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to be quite too close to that guy, that he'll attack us. And then it's the Red Guard's turn. So first we are going to do I think we're going to do our 2 damage, no modifiers. So our elite here is dead. We have put him up to 10 damage. We're going to add 2 damage to number 3, who now has 1 HP left. And then, so that was our 2 adjacent. And then we're also going to use our attack of 2 to 1 adjacent plus modifier, which is +0. So 2 damage. He has also been taken out. The first time we did this scenario, we actually played with all of the guys up, even though we were only 2 of us. It was pretty interesting time. So we made the game harder for ourselves on the first scenario unknowingly. Now that we've gone through all of our cards, we have to randomly discard 1 card into our lost pile. This is a feature that I'm not a particularly big fan of. Range 2 plus immobilize, that's okay for now. This is a feature I'm not a particularly big fan of. It kind of forces you to play aggressively, which personally, I'm a very defensive player, a strategic player. I like being able to hold back and really play a bit more defensively. So it's a little unfortunate that we can't. We're just going to throw these down here. We don't have any items yet. It's a little unfortunate that we can't do that because we are on a time limit, more or less. What's that one? Attack range of 3, immobilize, target 1 adjacent enemy, and immobilize. That's a pretty decent one, but I think we'll be okay. We only have 1 enemy left, so it's not that big of a deal. So now that that's done, we go through our order again, see where we want everything. Where am I right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need that Vermling Raider to move. I don't have a move of 5 on anyone, but I do have a move of 4 at 90, which would put us after, which isn't too bad. A move of 4 and an attack of 2. Do I have a ranged attack? I do have a ranged attack at a range of 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 90 and we're going to do 63. I guess it doesn't matter what order we do this in because the Vermling Raider is going to go first. Okay, so we're going to go 63 and 90. And for the hatchets, I think we're going to go. We could go first with the hatchet because we can do our ranged attacks. Do I have a bottom range attack? I don't, but I do have the +1, so we could do that. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so our order is hatchets, Vermling Raider, and then Redguard. So our hatchet is just going to straight up do our attack of 2 at range 3 plus modifier. We do no damage, unfortunately, with our hatchet, so that's unfortunate. And we did the +1 attack on that, so we just do no damage there. Next up is the Vermling Raider. He's going to move 1 towards us. He is not adjacent, so he's not going to attack us. And then we're going to go with our move 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Was it within 2? That's not good. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, our hatchet's in the way, eh? Oh no, we can go here because it's within 2. So we're going to go there. And then we're going to do our attack of 3 within range of 2 plus our modifier of -2. So Vermling Raider number 5 is going to take 1 damage. And that is going to end our thing. So now that everyone's kind of within range, I think I'd rather go first here. So we're going to... I don't have a move here. All adjacent enemies suffer 2 damage plus separate modifiers. 1 adjacent enemy suffers 3 damage, but that's on my only move. I don't have another move. Heal of range 2. No one's taken damage yet. 2 adjacent enemies. So what I have to do is I have to do my move 3. Because I don't have any range attacks left. And we're going to do our attack of 2 plus modifiers. And for the hatchet, we are going to... Do we have any range attacks? 1 attack, range of 3. Oh, right. Up to 3 enemies. I think we're just going to move and do an attack of 3 plus a modifier. Plus, we're going to get 1 damage from this movement here. I think that's the way we're going to do it. So our order is Red Guard, Hatchet, and then Vermling Raiders. So, first things first, we are going to do our movement of 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do our attack of 2 to all adjacent enemies, plus a modifier of -1. So we're doing another 1 damage to the Vermling Raider. So that is our turn for the Red Guard. We are now doing the Hatchet. So we are going to be doing movement of 2. We're going to go 1, 2. And all adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage. So that is an extra 1 damage. We just need 2 more damage, which hopefully we won't have any detrimentary modifiers for this. So we're doing our attack of 3 to 1 adjacent, plus 0, 3 damage, kills that Vermling Raider, which brings this scenario to an end as we have defeated all of the enemies, which was our goal, kill all enemies. So let's read our conclusion. You wipe the blood of the last Vermling from your face, and your thoughts return to the sleeping lion. Surely they've got a stew ready by now. It would be so perfectly warm and soothing, and it's right through that gate, so close you can already taste it. But then another thought comes. It's highly unusual, brazen really, for a pack of Vermlings to operate this close to the city. Could they be behind the string of disappearances? It's a long shot, but one worth investigating, especially considering this ambush site doesn't look like their base of operations. There's probably a nest nearby that, with any luck, will have more information on the missing blacksmith. And treasure. Treasure would be nice. Rewards for this scenario: new location, a hole in the wall, scenario number 2. So with that, guys, that is going to wrap up our video for this time. We have completed scenario 1. Next time, we will be making our way into scenario 2, a hole in the wall. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you'll join me next time for scenario 2, where we take on some more Vermling Raiders and continue our story as the Jaws of the Lion. But until then, guys, just remember, board games are for everybody, and I hope I see you all next time.